Oh, my name is Pat Weston.
Um, First question, why LA?
It's honestly sort of the hub of entertainment in general. It's they manufacture entertainers there essentially, and the first thing you need to realize about the entertainment industry, whether it's music or acting or anything like that, it is a business. It's still a business. You need to have that sort of business mind to it. And that being said, talent is obviously a big deal, and in order to achieve talent, you need experience. But LA is that kind of place where you'll get everything. You'll get the experience. You'll get, you'll learn the business. Um, it's just a place to go, and it's so big. And I think the most important part is being surrounded by like-minded people, being surrounded by other people chasing the exact same thing you are, and you can clash ideas together, and hopefully something beautiful will appear. So that's the idea about moving to LA. I mean, the most important thing that I did is make money. That's honestly the big one. And before you even think about what you're doing with your life, and like, oh, I want to be a musician, or I want to be an actor, or a model or something, the first thing you need to do if you're going to do something like this is make money. You need to do something like that. So I got a job doing something that is completely irrelevant to what I want to do with my life, but it didn't matter because like I just needed the money so I could pack up my bags and get out there and not have to worry about finding a job right when I get there. And instead I could sort of like land on my feet gently and have a month or two or three even to just sort of look, to meet people and to just sort of look. And that was the goal on that. And but besides that, and the biggest one is I sort of just tried to get into any situation I could that was involved in entertainment, whether it was get a gig or whether it was like a buddy of mine might ask me, hey, do you want to be in a video or something? I just say yes. Whether it's like an acting role or a hosting role or anything like that, or even emceeing like a concert. I occasionally would be asked to get up on stage and sort of MC shows, which was always a blast. Back in high school, I even emceed Homecoming. I dressed up as Aladdin and I did that. That was pretty fun. But the point is, it's just, you know, I got myself involved. I got myself into situations to where I had to put myself out there. I had no other choice, and I've excelled. Although unfortunately, a lot of those projects that I ended up working on didn't always come out. I just did so much stuff. I just did everything I could. I even did modeling for a little while too, and a little skinny and pale for that, but it was still a lot of fun. And I just did everything I could, and that's the biggest thing you can do. Don't say no, unless of course it's breaking integrity and stuff like that. But and sort of moral guidelines, and maybe you can break. And don't do anything illegal. Don't do that too. Do things by the book. People, higher ups will appreciate that. If you do things by the book, if you do things appropriately and fairly, people will notice that, and they'll be like, well, he's not going to get us into trouble, and that's always a good sign. Is don't get him into trouble. But so that's sort of how I guess I prepared myself. Is I just did everything. Acting, hosting, emceeing, and then obviously playing as many shows as possible. Even making CDs and music videos. I made a record, released it a month ago. Made a music video, released it this week. It's just a good idea. Something I had to do, and I did it. And it was fun. Cost a lot of money, but it was worth it. Absolutely worth it. So, once again, make money though. It's priority number one.
How will you face your goals head on? And I wouldn't say fears, but how do you plan to succeed?
You gotta nut up and just do it. You can't pussyfoot around. You can't second guess yourself. And my biggest enemy is myself, and I overthink everything. Every time, it's the dumbest thing you can do is I think something's a great idea, and then I sit down and I think about it for an hour, and I'm like, still a good idea. 2 hours later, may still be a good idea, and then maybe 4 hours later, I'm going, nah, I'm not doing that. And I should have. You should do it. When you think of an idea, just do it. It's kind of like the same thing when you're writing a song or you're writing like a scene for a play or something, and it's a great idea, but you're like, I'll write it down tomorrow. I'll go to bed now and I'll write it. Don't write it down. Do not hesitate. You got to put that down. And because you'll wake up the next morning and you go, oh no, what was it? And then you'll beat yourself up all day for it. And then maybe you'll think of it, but likely you won't think of it. It's a very inspiration comes in the most inopportune times, and you gotta grab it by the balls really. So, and yeah, but honestly, just I gotta nut up and do it. I can't stop pussyfooting around. I gotta pussyfoot. Who the fuck says that? Anyway, you just gotta hit the ground running in terms of music. And I'm not going to know anybody there, but I'm still going to go out and play. And I might get a beer bottle thrown on my head. It hasn't happened yet, but here's to hoping. But hopefully that doesn't happen. But, you know, who knows? You can't be afraid of anything. You can't be afraid of rejection. That's the biggest one. You got to have thick skin, and people say that all the time, but you do. And I definitely do. Because I think I've had more people get mad at me, especially back in high school, than anything else. So thanks for all the people who were dicks to me in high school. I really appreciate it.
Bless those bullies. Why music?
Why music? It's personal. I mean, I was acting long before I got into music. I was on stage or in front of a camera for long before I got into music. But there's something about acting which I love. I love sort of getting into the mind of another person and pretending to be that. But at the end of the day, I'm still me. I'm Pat Weston. I am blonde hair, blue eyed, grayish eyed, sort of funny guy. And I want that to come out, and I want people to know who I am, and music is the best way to do it, in my opinion, of course. So I write songs about growth and triumph and defeat and growing, and I have anti-love songs because I'm not really in love, so I write songs about not being in love, which is always fun. And that's sort of why music is, because I want people to know me. I want people to know who I am, and I think I'm worth knowing. I think I got my morals set straight, and yeah. I think I'm a good person, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with telling yourself you're a good person, and that's rule number one. Don't ever be afraid to say, good job, me. Be proud of who you are. Oh, that was so cliche. I appreciate the thought of relativity, I guess. I like going somewhere and somebody coming up to me and telling me that they understand. Like, I sing a song or something, and they go like, yeah, man, like, I get that. I've been there. And that's, like, one of the coolest feelings in the world, is knowing that you're not alone, really. And the best way to do that is to write a song and then have somebody come up to you after the song and just be like, man, I get that. Like, I have a song called I Forget How, which is about not being the best at talking to the opposite sex, or the same sex, if that's your boat. Or any sex, you know, doesn't matter. It's that's what it's about. It's about, like, seeing that beautiful person, and you're like, I'm gonna do it, and then you go up to them, and what comes out is just caca. Like, it just falls apart in your hands, and you just see it, and that's what it's about. And I've had both men and women come up to me and be like, story of my life. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, I get that, and it's great, because I'm just like, I give them a high five after, and I give them a hug, and I go, we suck, and it's great, and it's a cool feeling. But I mean, my overall goal with this is that I want to play music. Or be just an entertainer. I just want to do something, but specifically music. I want to play for as many people as I possibly can. It's my own narcissism, I'm sure, and it's my own ego that's punching this issue. But I just want to play music for as many people as possible, because I think, like I said, I'm worth knowing. I'm worth relating to. Because we've all been there. We've all been somehow in an issue that we can't rise out of, but we find a way, and that's great. And I'd like to be sort of that leader, and so to speak. I want to be the guideline. I want to be the roadmap for people. I want to be the guy who makes the mistakes, so maybe you don't have to. I'm okay with that. And I want to be date night, honestly. You know what I mean? I want to be the reason why you ask your boyfriend or your girlfriend, like, hey, let's go. Pat's playing a show tonight. 7 o'clock, $15 per ticket, let's go see him. And I want to be the reason you get late or something, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure as hell not, so it'd be fun, you know what I mean? I want to be, I just want to be, I guess. Does that sound weird? But I want to be relevant. So, that's why music.
What have you learned from your own music?
From my own, okay. What have I learned from my own music? I learned to grow. I learned what to sing about, what not to sing about, and a lot of self-exploration. I mean, I'm probably the most self-aware person you'll ever meet. I know when I'm making a mistake, and that's what I've learned from my music, musically and emotionally in my personal life. Like, I just know who I am really, really well. And if you want to say something about me, chances are I already know, whether it's good or bad, which says something about my ego. Like, yeah, I know the good things about me, but I also know the shitty things about me, and I'm not afraid of them. And it's who I am. That's what I've learned. Anything is to be me and embrace me, and that's what'll come out in my music is 100% me. And I can't wait to play the new stuff that I've written for you people. I mean, you people. I can't wait to play this stuff because this is the stuff that I've been waiting to write. And when I get to record these songs or stand up in front of a lot of people and play them, you'll see. You'll definitely see.
Last question, the most serious question.
Okay.
Is the West Coast really the best coast?
I mean, I'm gonna try to be everybody's friend here and give a cop-out answer, but it depends on what you want to do and where you want to be.
Okay, fine. Is the West Coast the best coast for Pat Weston?
Well, clearly it's in my name. I don't know what I'm doing here on the East Coast. I mean,